Chapter 2. The Party. Varun hauled the last folding chair up from the basement. He set it out on the deck and poured himself a glass of lemonade from the pitcher on the card table. "Varun, that's for the party," his mother said. "But I'm thirsty." "Then get yourself a drink from the refrigerator. And when you're done, your father needs help setting up the volleyball net." "Why isn't Rohan helping?" Varun asked. "It's his party. Why am I stuck doing all the work while he's out with his friends?" The phone rang and Mom ran inside muttering, "That better not be the caterer with another problem. That food was supposed to be delivered an hour ago." Varun poured himself another glass of lemonade, figuring his mom was too preoccupied to notice. "Varun!" Dad yelled from the backyard. "I need a hand with this net." "Coming." Varun tossed his cup in the garbage and headed down the steps to the backyard. Rohan's Mustang pulled into the driveway. Varun turned and glared at his brother. "Hey, Varun," Rohan said. "They are on caterers their way," Varun's mom said, practically running down the deck stairs. "I think we'll set up the gift table next to the refreshments." "Varun, could you get another card table from the basement?" "After he helps me with this net," Dad said. "I'm going to take a shower before the party," Rohan said, heading inside. Unbelievable, Varun thought. "I'm doing all the work and he's going to shower?" Varun helped his father with the volleyball net and then searched the basement for another table. He spotted one behind some boxes in the space under the stairs. He tried to push them aside, but they were too heavy. "I'll get it," Rohan said, coming up behind him. "It's about time you did something." "What's that about?" Rohan asked, looking hurt. "This is your party. But I've been doing everything. And people are going to give you presents and money. What do I get?" "Nothing. I wasted my whole day setting up while you hung out with your friends." "You thought I was hanging out with my friends? Weren't you?" "No, I was working. I had to get a job to help pay for college. I've been mopping floors at the supermarket since 5 o'clock this morning." "Oh," Varun said. Suddenly carrying a few tables and chairs didn't seem so bad. "There's still an hour until the party starts. You should relax. Take a nap or something. You don't mind helping with the setup while I nap?" Rohan asked. "No." Varun smiled. "Happy graduation, brother." New words. Hauled, pulled. Pitcher, jug. Muttering, a private expression of dissatisfaction. Preoccupied, dominated the mind of someone to exclude other thoughts. Caterers, food and entertainment service provides. Mopping, cleaning up by wiping. Nap, a short sleep, especially during the day. Graduation, receiving of a degree or diploma. Understanding the lesson. A. State if the following sentences are true or false. 1. Varun hauled the last folding chair up from the basement. 2. Rohan tossed his cap in the garage and headed down the steps to the backyard. 3. Varun spotted one behind some boxes in the space under the stairs. 4. You don't mind helping with the setup while I nap? Varun asked. B. Complete the sentences with words from the lesson. 1. Varun's father needs help setting up the. 2. The phone rang and Mom ran inside. 3. Rohan's pulled into the driveway. 4. You should take her or something, Varun said. C. Answer the following questions. 1. When does this story mostly take place? A. At Varun and Rohan's house. B. At a park near Varun and Rohan's house. C. Shortly before Varun's graduation party. D. Shortly before Rohan's graduation party. 2. Why was Varun upset with Rohan? 3. Where was Varun's brother Rohan during the day, and what was he doing? 4. Which job didn't Varun's family have to do to prepare for the party? A. Cook food for the party. B. Bring tables and chairs from the basement. C. Put up a volleyball net. D. Make lemonade for the party. 5. If Rohan left the supermarket at 1:00 p.m., for how many hours had he been working? 6. Place the events in order. Write first, second, third, fourth. The phone rang, Mom answered it. Varun brought up the folding chairs from the basement. Rohan left home to go to the supermarket. Rohan took a nap. Vocabulary zone. Fill in the missing letters to create vocabulary words from the story. 1. Hint, speaking in a low voice that is difficult to hear. 2. Hint, busy with something, lost in thought or work. 3. Hint, type of sports car made by the car company Ford. 4. Hint, people who are hired to prepare food. 5. Hint, large grocery store. 6. Hint, honor given to a student who has finished high school or college. Grammar fun. A verb is used to say something about a person or thing. It says what a person or thing does, is or has. A verb denotes doing, being or possessing. Doing, aeroplanes fly in the sky. The teacher praised him. Being, Rahul is an honest boy. Mother was pleased with her. Possessing, a cow has 4 legs. Mary had a little lamb. Most of the verbs are doing verbs. Different forms of verbs are used to show the present time, the past time, and the future time. Be is the only verb that is used to denote being. Is, are, was, am, were, will be, shall be are certain forms of be verbs. Is, are, am refer to the present time. Was, were refer to the past time. Will be, shall be refer to the future time. Have shows possession. Have, has, had, shall have, will have are its different forms. Have and has refer to the present time. Had refers to the past time. Will have and shall have refer to the future time. Look at these sentences and the questions that follow. 1. Tarun likes pizza. What does Tarun like? Pizza. Pizza is the object of the verb likes. 2. The teacher scolded Farhan. Whom did the teacher scold? Farhan. Farhan is the object of the verb scolded. Look at these sentences. 1. Pulkit loves. 2. Sonal praises. 3. Komal hates. These sentences require certain objects to form meaningful sentences. These verbs are called transitive verbs. Now, look at these sentences. 1. The dog ran. 2. Rohit jumped. 3. Pooja prayed. 2. The above sentences are quite meaningful. The verbs in these sentences do not require objects to form meaningful sentences. These verbs are called intransitive verbs. Now, look at these sentences. 1. Harsh was. 2. Neha appears. 3. Father is. The verbs in the above sentences are was, appears and is. All these verbs do not make complete sense. They require some words to complete the sense. 1. Harsh was unhappy. 2. Neha appears upset. 3. Father is pleased. The verbs in the above sentences neither express an action nor show possession. They are called incomplete verbs. The words added to them to complete the meaning and to form a complete predicate is called complement to the verb. Underline the verbs in the following sentences and also write whether they are transitive, intransitive, or incomplete. 1. He danced well. 2. We grow vegetables in our garden. 3. The girl stitches clothes. 4. Soon the snow started falling. 5. Which subject are you reading? 6. Father is buying fruits. 7. All your answers are incorrect. 8. The child is crying loudly. Listening time. Listen to these sentences and circle the object of the verb in each of them. 1. Bhavna likes burgers. 2. I love Umang. 3. The teacher appreciated Jay. 4. Sonu wastes food. 5. The father appears angry. Speak well. Speak the verbs in the following passage aloud. A young engineer set up his office in a city. He spent his morning hours in his office and in the evening, he visited his clients. After a few months, his parents visited him in the city. I hope you are getting good business, asked his father. Yes, father, things are going well here, answered his son. Father was happy. His parents accompanied their son to his office. They sat in the reception while their son was busy in his task. They noticed that he was quite a busy man. They were satisfied that their son was a successful engineer. Write well. In the story, The Party, Rohan got a job at a supermarket to earn money to pay for college. Write a paragraph in which you describe 4 different jobs at a supermarket. Give the name of each job and tell what a person holding the job does. The Ant and the Cricket. Now, read a poem about La Lazy Cricket. A silly young cricket, accustomed to sing through the warm, sunny months of gay summer and spring, began to complain when he found that at home, his cupboard was empty and winter was come. Not a crumb to be found on the snow-covered ground, not a flower could he see, not a leaf on a tree. Oh, what will become, says the cricket, of me? At last by starvation and famine made bold, all dripping with wet and all trembling with cold, away he set off to a miserly ant, to see if, to keep him alive, he would grant him shelter from rain, a mouthful of grain. He wished only to borrow, he'd repay it tomorrow, if not helped, he must die of starvation and sorrow. Says the ant to the cricket, I'm your servant and friend, but we ants never borrow, we ants never lend. Pray tell me, dear sir, did you lay nothing by when the weather was warm? Said the cricket, not I. My heart was so light that I sang day and night, for all nature looked gay. You sang, sir, you say? Go then, said the ant, and sing winter away. Thus ending, he hastily lifted the wicket and out of the door turned the poor little cricket. Though this is a fable, the moral is good. If you live without work, you must live without food. New words. Accustomed to, used to. Famine, food shortage. Miserly, not generous. Grant, to give. Hastily, quickly. Wicket, a small door or gate. Poetry appreciation. A. Reference to the context. Read the lines forms the poem and answer the questions that follow. 1. A silly young cricket, accustomed to sing through the warm, sunny months of gay summer and spring, began to complain when he found that at home his cupboard was empty and winter was come. A. What did the cricket do in summer? B. What happened during winter? C. Why is he called silly? 2. Says the ant to the cricket, I'm your servant and friend, but we ants never borrow, we ants never lend. A. What did the cricket ask the ant? B. What did the ant reply? C. Why was the cricket in need? B. Complete the summary of the poem by filling in the blanks with appropriate words. Once upon a time, a silly cricket sang cheerfully all through the months. It was only during the winter months that he realized that there was not a single in his store. The ground was, and there was neither a nor a on the trees. As it, in the cold, the cricket wondered what would become of it without, he set out to meet he wanted the ant to give him some shelter from the rain and lend some, to prevent his death from starvation. The ant looked at his miserable plight and said that she was his, but ants neither, nor, the cricket told the ant that in the weather he had been enjoying himself and day and night. For then, the weather was bright. The ant suggested that the cricket should sing, away, too. The ant opened and turned out Let's understand and enjoy. 1a is a short story, fable or poem with a moral. It teaches an important lesson. It has animal characters. Is this poem a fable? Give reasons for your answer. 2. What is the moral of the poem? Do you agree with it? 3. Pick at least 10 rhyming pairs of words from the poem. 4. What is the rhyme scheme of the poem?